Nike treat employees just like slaves.
In 2018, many artist fans are regularly paying more to buy their namesake's sneakers than to see them perform live.
I know like A$AP Rocky, like Kanye, they're the big drivers of like fashion right now.
These Pharrells for Chanel cost $13,000. From the outside, the math seems a little warped. Once they're off the shelf, brand name sneakers actually increase in value, and the smaller the shoe, the more it costs.
From about like 6.5 downwards, they're generally a lot more expensive because they're high in demand and the quantities for these sizes are much less. So the prices of them skyrocket. So they could, be hundreds of dollars more expensive.
The secret sneaker store doesn't own anything on these shelves. It makes 20% though on each sale, because each shoe belongs to a sole trader. Much like any stock investor, they choose when to hold and when to fold. And some sellers are making six-figure income, with individual resales netting them tens of thousands.
I'll say double of what you paid is good, but as I say, these old shoes are hard to get. If you can get, say, about 20 pairs every month, then pretty good income.
It's a brave new world, and much of it is happening online. There are dozens of YouTube channels dedicated to the subject.
I don't really think anyone's really excited about this shoe, so for that reason, I think the shoe is going to sit.
Detroit startup StockX functions as an index, much like the NASDAQ or ASX. But instead of companies and commodities, the price is going up and down for brands' resale value. And it's how global buyers and sellers gauge when to hold or dump their stock of sneakers.
That's a little expensive. There's fees, there's import tax, there's shipping. So usually go a little bit under stock price.
Price is set by demand, but it has little to do with the product specs. Cool is currency, and it's all about the hype.
When it first came out, I was like, I'm not buying this shoe, this is ugly. But like when you see more people wear it, like the way they style it, you're like, you sort of see the appeal to it.
Shui is 17. He has his eye on these.
So these are the Off-White OG Air Force Ones. These are my favorite shoe because it's part of like the Ghost Pack of the very first 10, and it's sort of this clear colorway, and it's like...
They also cost $800 on resale. As in any culture, there are battlegrounds. In essence, the business model for sellers and for consignment stores is much like ticket scalping. The difference is the transaction is transparent.
Pay about $350, so I'll just go put in here for $1,300 and see how I go.
Alipay and WeChat are the main commerce platforms for this business, which counts young Chinese visitors and uni students as its main market.
Just whenever they have time, they just go buy their shoe and they just pay, and that's it, and they go overseas.
And these are people that can afford not to do their research, basically?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah.
If you're in the market for sneakers, it's very much a case of buyer beware, because you can run into a few hurdles. You might buy from a consignment store, but find that the same pair of shoes is still retailing for hundreds of dollars more down the road. Then you could get a fake. There are plenty of them in this game.
Stitching wise, sometimes you just feel that like it doesn't feel right. The weight sometimes just doesn't tell. A weird one is just the smell. Sometimes you get used to smelling, you just smell it and you're like, oh yeah, that's not the right glue smell.
It turns out they also don't take old, slightly worn out tennis shoes. What a shame.